For a lot of people, the open ocean is just awe-inspiring. But for others, it brings on this really deep sense of dread. So today, we're going to dive into a very specific and pretty powerful fear, the fear of what's lurking in deep, dark water.
I mean, that question really gets to the heart of a basic human fear, right? The fear of the unknown. It's not the water you can see on top that's so scary. It's that whole, huge, hidden world just underneath. So let's unpack what's really driving that feeling.
Okay, let's get specific. We're not just talking about, not liking to get your face wet. This is something much bigger. It's a really particular and powerful anxiety that's tied specifically to the deep.
And this really gets to the core of it. See, a general fear of water, that's called aquaphobia. But what we're talking about today is way more complex. It's that combination of three things: the sheer vastness, the darkness, and that chilling possibility of the unknown. That's what really defines this fear.
So yeah, this very specific fear actually has a formal name. Let's get a really clear definition on the table so we all know exactly what we're dealing with. So here it is, thalassophobia. And the key words you really got to pay attention to are intense and irrational. This isn't just, a little bit of unease. We're talking about a really powerful fear that's not actually based on a logical, immediate threat. It's the potential for danger in all that vastness that triggers such a massive response.
Okay, so let's break that down into its core parts. First, you've got that powerful, intense emotional reaction. Then you have the specific trigger, that deep or really vast water. And finally, the most crucial part, the fear of what you can't see down below. It's all three of those things coming together that really makes it thalassophobia.
So you might be wondering, where does a fear like this even come from? Well, let's dig into some of the most common causes.
Well, the truth is, the origins can be all over the place. For some people, it's pretty clear-cut, maybe a traumatic experience like a near drowning. But for a lot of others, it's way less direct. It could be fueled by movies, like Jaws, or maybe documentaries about those bizarre deep-sea creatures. It could even just be an underlying anxiety that latches onto the deep as its main focus.
And this is so important to understand. This isn't just a thought or a little worry in someone's head. For a person with thalassophobia, deep water triggers a very, very real and physical gut-level response.
And we're talking about some serious reactions here. I mean, just the thought of being on a boat in the middle of a lake, or even just looking at a picture of the deep ocean, can be enough to trigger a full-blown panic attack. We're talking a racing heart, getting dizzy, and this just overwhelming sense of absolute dread.
Now, a fear that intense, it almost never stays contained. It tends to have this ripple effect, touching a person's life in really practical, everyday ways.
Yeah, that ripple effect idea is actually perfect. The anxiety doesn't just stop at the water's edge. Nope, it spreads way out, affecting things like vacations, hobbies, and even relationships with friends and family.
Just think about the limitations for a second. Beach vacations? Probably off the table. Cruises or ferry rides? No way. Even simple stuff like kayaking or going out on a lake with friends. What should be fun becomes a source of major stress. It can be a really, really isolating fear. But here's the good news. This is not a hopeless situation. Now that we kind of get the problem, let's talk about the solutions. Because there are absolutely effective ways to manage this fear and, find a path forward.
So, this really lays out a clear roadmap to getting a handle on it. The main route is usually professional therapy, things like cognitive behavioral therapy or even gradual exposure therapy, where you're slowly and safely introduced to the thing you're afraid of. That can be backed up with relaxation techniques to manage the anxiety in the moment. And yeah, in really severe cases, medication is also an option.
And this is really the key takeaway right here. Thalassophobia can be a huge, life-limiting fear, for sure, but it is manageable. With the right kind of support and the right strategies, it does not have to control your life. There's totally a path to getting back that sense of freedom and control.
So we're going to end with this question to think about. Just by doing what we've done here, learning what thalassophobia is, giving the fear a name, understanding what causes it and what it feels like, you actually start to change your relationship with it. Knowledge is such a powerful tool against fear, isn't it? It's really the first step from being controlled by the unknown to actually understanding it.